We're here at a home in Westchester, Pennsylvania today to remove stucco that is failing. It was not installed correctly and it's cracked, it's delaminating, and it is allowing water to penetrate into the wall cavities. Now we're looking at the rear elevation. The details and accessories that are missing are: there's no floor line expansion joint between the first and second floor, there's no proper termination with weep screed between the foundation and the first floor. Here at the corner you can see where it's cracking and delaminating, and when I stick my finger up inside of here, I'm actually able to feel that there's no corner bead to hold the stucco onto the masonry. Here's a close-up of the crack that has been repaired and sealed with an elastomer coating approximately 3 years ago. The coating is designed to bridge the cracks, but as you can see, the crack is transmitting through once again. Tapping on it, you can hear that it's hollow, indicating the lath is not attached properly and the stucco is delaminating. Okay, scaffolding's been erected. They're utilizing grinders to score the stucco in order to facilitate the removal process. Alright, here you see the stucco being removed, and you see we're holding up a piece of the removed stucco. It's approximately 1/2 inch in thickness, 1/4 inch for the scratch coat, 1/4 inch for the base coat. You can see the finish coat and the elastomer coating on top of that. Okay, continuing to remove the stucco, we see that the sheathing that holds the stucco on is comprised of OSB, Celotex foam in the center, and some kind of ice and water at the gable top. Alright, most of the stucco has been removed now. What you're looking at is the weather-resistant barrier. In some sections it still remains, and that's the black number 15 felt that you see there in sections. Okay, now some of the Celotex foam sheathing has been removed. You can see a little section of the Tyvek house wrap that was there on the right, and you can see the exposed insulation. Alright, insulation has been removed. We're looking at the blind side of the gypsum wallboard. You can see the mold growth. You can actually see the damage, and you can see into the home. See the water staining. We can actually go underneath the miter joint. We can see the mold growth and the water staining, and if we pan down, we probably see some additional mold growth there. At this point, we're starting to replace the sheathing with CDX exterior grade plywood. We're leaving the appropriate 1/8 inch gap around all sides. Very important for expansion and contraction. Okay, here it shows that we've had to replace all of the sheathing with CDX exterior grade sheathing. We're now installing the weather resistant barrier, which in this case will be Super Jumbo Text by Fortifiber. It's a 2-ply grade D building paper which meets the code requirement. We're starting to flash our window openings with Fortifiber's FortiFlash. We've got it on the sill. We'll do our jambs and our header next. Just putting the finishing touches on the flashing around our window opening. You can see our weather resistant barrier with the seam seal, which creates an air barrier as well as a water resistant cover. Here we're installing a flexible drip cap flashing over the arched window, and we left the weather resistant barrier unattached so we could fold it back down over top of it. Here they are installing the self-firing lath working around the window. We're going to pan out and see them installing the last 2 layers of the drainage mat, the keen screen up top. Just putting the finishing touches on our self-firing lath. All of our windows are protected, and you can see that our drainage mat, our keen screen is all attached properly. We've finished applying our initial coat, which is called the scratch coat. This has to cure for a minimum of 2 days. During that time, the stucco will crack, and the second coat, which is our brown coat, will fill in those cracks, and this is a critical step. We're now applying our second coat, which is called the brown coat. You can see it to the left. Just starting to apply it over top of the scratch coat, and that will be allowed to cure for a minimum of 7 days. This allows the concrete to cure and to crack out so that the finished coats will fill in the cracks. Alright, here we are applying our finish coat, and the customer has selected La Habra X53, and I think that once it dries, it's going to, we're expecting it to blend in very nicely, and you can see that as it's continuing to dry and to cure, it is blending in very nicely, and now we've got a real nice finished product here. Stucco has now had a chance to dry. It's about a week later. We've removed the scaffolding, and the stucco is almost a dead-on match with the existing stucco on the other elevations. That is our weep screed at the top of the foundation. We pan up and we can see the floor line expansion joint. Everything blends in rather nicely. All the trim around the windows. Up top, we replaced the cedar with AZAC, will be maintenance free, and it blends in rather nicely, and the customer is very happy with the finished product.